Antje, just very briefly spoke about your competition, the Fashion Fusion, and we here at Fashiontech, we greatly welcome that you are our partner here for this event and coming up with this competition, because we think that the whole fashion tech scene really needs bigger partners such as Deutsche Telekom to create more tangible, more feasible concepts. Could you elaborate a bit on your event, on the competition?
Yeah, we are very happy to finally launch a big challenge like that. It took nearly 7-8 years, Gesche, and moreover, it was not that easy to really get the right mindset into the company. But now, as everything, as you know, digitization is a key sector, and it's driving changes in the industry. For us, it's key also to enter into the smart fashion business, as we have a real our network, but we also need some partners like Intel, who are the hardware provider. And you are not a partner; you are just a jury. But Adidas is a very attractive partner for us as well, and for that reason, we thought also to gain reliability to set up this challenge, which will start. It's just started, and everybody can apply until 1st of August. Everybody who has a real creative idea and concept, or even better, a prototype, which fit into this smart fashion, into this fashion fusion lab. We have then in mind to select 10 finalists, up to 10 finalists, and they have the opportunity to have a lab here, a 3-month lab, and it's also, we will offer them a free accommodation. If they want, they can use that, and also prices. And the main part is that we have experts, we have lectures, we have really on a very high level expert out of the fashion and of the high tech sector, which will then train and be coach, and that at the end we have a result which really we will think could go to market.
So Gesche, the Design Research Lab has also been founded with Deutsche Telekom at the University of Arts here in Berlin. Can you tell us a bit more about your applied research on smart textiles, for example?
Yeah, we started like 6-7 years ago, and it was not that we were so much into fashion or into technology, but we were all interaction designers, and we saw this fusion of fashion, textile, and technology is a huge playground for any kind of concepts, how you want to interact with technology in the future. So, how do you interact with a jacket? So, by closing it, or by, rolling up the sleeves, or, what's the interaction behind it? And so we were really jumping on that thing, and we're really creating not an kind of an additional layer, so we were not like attaching an MP3 player onto a jacket because that's boring, but we really started integrating conductive yarn and microcontrollers into the textile, because it's all there, it's all cheap, it's all open source. So the microcontroller, for example, the Arduino LilyPad, is like €5, and it's washable, and so it's all the kind of components are there. So you can really play around to reimagine interaction with fashion, with clothing, with all kinds of textiles, and this from the really basic level of the textile garment itself. And this is amazing for designers to really reinvent interacting with textiles and with technology.
So from a scientific point of view, where in the development of innovation, which state are we in right now?
I think we are ready to go to market, really, because it's all there. It's just that the big partners don't talk to each other. So this is the huge textile and fashion industry and companies, and on the other hand side, they are the IT guys and the kind of micro electronic guys, and that's really two different cultures. And to get them together to work on a piece and to work on an interaction concept, that's, I think, the biggest challenge, and that's why it's so important that we are here together, and that such great partners now join the scene, and not just the kind of small startups. By creating those connections, that's the big thing.
Lisa, you are a pushing force in the whole fashion tech scene here, especially here in Berlin, since a couple of years. And now talking about the maker process and the accessibility to all these materials that Gesche just spoke about, how far are you right now in your process with coming up with new concepts and designs for fashion tech?
So we are actually like even another step forward. We are already retailing. So we are manufacturing on a small scale, but we're retailing on ASOS since 2015. And we also open up a studio where we have fashion designers and technologists working together to develop new products. It's not on a smallish scale at the moment, but we know exactly what to do to go big. But we are still stuck in this situation, as also as Gesche said, is that we now have to get the big guys, meaning like the textile manufacturers with the microcontroller guys together and understand that everybody brings one item to the plate, but on their own they are nothing, but together they're everything. So because the great thing about technology is like technology can do everything, right? Designers can do everything. I wouldn't say like, you know, we're in Germany, let's talk about problems, but you know, the issue, the challenge right now is just, it's the people. The machines you can reprogram, the textiles you can cut, but you need to get the people together. That means you have to educate them and you have to take the fear away from change. But the fact is, this is going to happen. It's not a question if, it's just a question when and who will be the first part in it.
And so working with these materials, being at the machines, having the designers and also the technologists in one room, what were the biggest surprises to you while working with the material?
Biggest surprises always is from a technology side for me, is like, this is so cool. Why didn't you think about that you can make it washable? Right? This is just like, you know, okay, you know, you have the smartest microcontroller. Nobody thought about it to make it pretty? On the other side, from a fashion perspective, it's like the perception of like, do you understand that you're a technician as well? I mean, you use scissors. You know, you use a sewing machine. This is full-on technology. Stretch material has been developed for astronauts, not for design and stuff like that. So you just have to see it from a bigger picture. Like technology has always influenced fashion and vice versa. This is just a normal next step. So like, don't be afraid. And you know, just a little bit the playfulness. It was also my surprise. To the point, I mean, I was hoping for it, but it actually turned out to be even better than we thought, is the interaction between designers and technologists. Because after a while, they just understand that they're creative problem solvers and that they can help each other. And you have like, see, I'm getting goosebumps right now. So it's like this moment where the coin drops in the room, and then when you see the face of the designer, it's like, hang on a second, I can do this? And the designer like, yep. Right, and the technologist is like, oh, we'll just do this, like, why, you know, and then, but also the designer comes in and is like, no, this story, and the technologist is like, let's go on the moon, like, no, we'll do less is more, let's do that, and what in the end comes out of it, it's just absolutely fascinating. That power you have in a room when you get those people together, it's amazing.
Monica, what's your view from Intel onto this whole evolving ecosystem and also onto this competition?
So first of all, we're very glad that we had the opportunity to partner up with the Deutsche Telekom on this. And Intel, it's within Intel's DNA to partner up with different companies. It is very important for us to transform different industry, to bring in digitalization into that, and this is a wonderful opportunity for us to help on the technical side, to support the designers, to bring their ideas to life. So as Lisa just mentioned, there's so many different ideas and so many possibilities, but the question is how to bring them together, and these are really two different cultures, so that's very good for us. And I'm assuming we will also be learning a lot along this journey. And we're having, on one side, we're having someone on the jury who's helping picking the designers. On the other side, we're having a coach on the technical side, working then with the designers itself to bring out different ideas, different new garments, and things like that. So the most important part for us to it's always difficult to pronounce this in
Digitize?
English. Digitize the fashion industry.
Can you explain a bit on the recent activities of Intel with Fashiontech? Maybe the chips that you produce or anything regarding materials?
So we're having different kind of chips that are very suitable for wearables. So one is called Edison, which is a bit bigger. It's around the size of an SD card. And I heard many of you are already familiar with the spider dress, which was done by Anouk Wiebrecht. And she partnered up with Intel on that spider dress. So the spider dress itself, when someone approaches the person who's wearing this dress, depending on how fast or how aggressive or non-aggressive this person is approaching this dress, then a different reaction is coming up. It can be a bit more aggressive when the movement is starting, more soft. So this would be one example. The other one, it's a dress which is called the butterfly dress. This was done by 2 Turkish designers, and this is based also on Edison. It's a beautiful, nice evening dress, and on the collar you have like butterflies. They're flapping a little bit, and it's the same kind of idea. So when a person approaches, it starts flapping a little bit more, and when the person really comes close, it's just they're flying away. It's beautiful. It's very nice. So if you have the chance, check it out on YouTube. Butterfly dress plus Intel, you'll find it. These are 2 examples, which is really around dresses. Both are based on Edison. We're having a smaller form factor, which is called Curie. And this is like the size of a button. It's like this size. And this is like perfectly geared towards wearables because it can be really included into garments. It has Bluetooth on it, different kind of sensors, so it can really detect different kinds of movements the person is making. And I hope to see, of course, a lot of garments and interesting idea coming out that will be then coming in the market based on the Curie chip. Another example, which is more on the wearable side. So I'm having this one. This is a cooperation done with Fossil. It's a Fossil Q Dreamer, which is a smart bracelet. And there's actually no Intel technology inside, but it's a very good example for us because we helped Fossil to design on the technical side, how can it look like, what kind of components do you need, and on the other side also on the software part, because you always need to have software to control things, to get the data, what can you do with that, and Intel helped on the software side, writing the application and really making it also possible you can use it on your smartphone.
Dirk, you are not only a superstar designer. Yay! I know you hate to hear that, but I had to say that, Dirk. I know you would never ever say that about yourself, but then I can do it for you. But you're also creative director at Adidas, overseeing all the processes of screening new materials and also the designs. So this is your responsibility there for the whole brand. So what can you see in the market regarding fashion and technology right now? What are some interesting trends?
Well, that's a big question. For me, I'm hoping very much. I'm rather looking into the future of what I see now. We know what's out there. I think that I'm really looking forward to this competition because I want to see new ideas how technology can get into our wardrobe, our daily wardrobe. Because for me, of course, when you've seen technology and fashion in the past, there are some really amazing aesthetic solutions, but a lot of times it's also about an effect, to create an effect and to be loud. And I'm almost, when we talked about it for the first time, I said, I'm hoping to get a white T-shirt that is probably the most functional, high-tech thing ever made. Because I feel that we are on the bridge over to when technology becomes normal in our life. And so far, it's in watches, in our smartphones, in our computers. We have chips at Adidas, of course, with my coach in our shoes that tell you how to run better. But I just feel like, what is the next step without creating some effect on a piece of clothing only. I think it needs to go deeper. I don't want to say it needs to go under the skin, but for me, the most simple solution for a piece of clothing moving forward will be the most fascinating for me.
And what, I mean, you mentioned just me coach or my coach from Adidas, but what other technologies is Adidas right now using that could be called fashion tech?
That's very difficult. Of course, we've been creating fibers that make you perform better. Of course, all of these things happen within our sports division. And of course, some of these materials, of course, we develop them. They go into our collections like Originals. A very good example of that is the Boost foam that was actually developed to be in sports shoes and running shoes to make you faster and create more comfort, etc. And now we see that this is something that goes into the lifestyle area of our brand within Originals and within Y3. So this crosses over all these things, all the high-tech materials that we use for performance wear, we are putting also into our lifestyle. Because for me, the borders between style and sport are also gone. So I think fashion has been influenced by sportswear in the past 10 years. I think now fashion is influencing sport and performance wear.
So Antje, it seems that we are at the tipping point right now, as also Gesche just said. Can you just tell us a bit more about the competition and how people can then participate in that, and what will be next steps?
Just come to our booth on the 4th floor. There we will explain to you the application. It's quite easy. I mean, there are 3 pages. You have to add your information and explain to us what is your idea, what is your concept. Maybe you have some pictures, and then yeah, you just send it to us, and hopefully the jury will be positive, and then you will be in the final run and have the opportunity to then from September to December to join this Fashion Fusion Lab, which will be held in Berlin, and where a lot of coaches, and especially Lisa Lang will be the curator. She will be the director of the Fashion Fusion Lab and be the teacher, the main teacher, which will be has everything under control and drive into the right direction. So we will have at the end pretty nice, smart devices which don't look very futuristic, but people want to wear them.
That's amazing. So this is a call to action. If you are a designer, if you're running a startup in the field of fashion tech, if you are a fashion designer and you want to be part of this whole movement, then as Antje just said, please feel free to get in contact with them down there at their booth. Thank you very much, guys. I have the feeling that all important entities and departments that could make this whole movement and new concepts reality are here. They are. The knowledge is here. The production could be solved. So everything is there. Now it's up to you to make it possible. Thank you very much, guys, and I'm looking forward to speak to you later. Thank you.